What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Cancer. And it keeps us going. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Cancer, because it's a general energy weekly spread. I'm not sure what that little wave was there, Cancer. You know, we're going with the flow of the energies. That's what that's about, Cancer. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching Cancer. I think you definitely like them. One of them's a Cancer, so definitely check them out. She's a really cool intuitive. But let's get into your first card here. Oh, and look at you. Get your shield up there, Cancer, because you got the 9th card of Aries here, which is Shield card. And with this card, this is a card of defensive, protect, support, safeguard, block, guardian, stand up for, being prepared, heroic, stronghold, security, ward off unwanted energies, be on guard, and withstand. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the protect. And the thing that first comes to mind with protection in us, Cancer, is that it's the way that we feel, Cancer, and the way that we can absorb the energies of others. Not just, being a water sign in general, but really with us, to be able to feel to the degree that we do, and not even just with our own stuff, to be able to feel what others are feeling as well, whether we want to or not. Sometimes that stuff, that the residual effects, can linger on us, and we know we're the nurturers. We want to take care of others, make sure that they're feeling good, feeling protected, feeling safe. And in order to do that, Cancer, we have to make sure that every now and again that we do have this, not necessarily a wall, but it's just like that we have to almost kind of like be careful about how much we invest in something, because we want to, just nurture and mother and things that can potentially lead to our detriment, because we take on more than we sometimes, I feel like, realize, Cancer. And then sometimes you can even get to this point where it's not that, let's say you've been dealing with someone who's been, let's say, in a more kind of depressive type of energy, and you might take that on, and then you notice that you're feeling down, that you're feeling this, and we can't maybe not even be quite sure why. And that's where the trickiness happens, because then it's just like, well, then there's something wrong with me, like, how can I, what's going on here, do I not have eyes on something, when it could just be clearly that it's just the energies that are just coming on. We really share that in a sense with like Pisces, for example, because they feel with the collective on like a very psychic level. So it's one of those things, whether this be maybe like working with crystals, or making sure, like, after we get around people, just like cleansing the energies, whether this could be something as simple as just like showering that stuff off, and just being intentional with that shower, or taking like a salt bath, or anything along those lines. Just something to make sure that we're just kind of safeguarding that energy, Cancer, and that sensitive nature that we have. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Can be a double-edged sword there, Cancer. All right, thank you. All right, Cancer. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, oh, Cancer. All right, let's get into it. Because you got, come on, we got us here, the Chariot, and the Eight of Cups here in reverse. And then we have the Tower, and then the Knight of Swords upright. And let's talk about these two energies here, this Chariot, our energy, and the Eight of Cups here, because I do find with the Eight of Cups, this is about letting things go and moving on from different experiences. But you see, all this, the cups deal with emotions, and I feel that with this Cancer, if there are certain things that we've been kind of clinging to, let's say whether we've been wanting to help that friend, or maybe we've been just like, maybe you're in this, maybe you're in like this could even be at your work, Cancer. Maybe you're the type that maybe you're working with a lot of people, whether this be in like healthcare, or just anywhere where you're just around a lot of people. If we're not making sure that we're, again, like kind of letting go and moving on to this, and then like moving on from these energies, it slows down the progression of our growth there, Cancer, and it can kind of impede us a little bit. And I feel like it can be hard sometimes. I feel like, with the Knight of Swords being here, to kind of detach and to kind of keep moving forward. It can kind of feel maybe there's, I don't know, it's like maybe for some it's just like maybe we feel that if we don't wholly invest, that we're not going to get the maximum impact. And I understand that, Cancer, but I just feel that I just kind of feel like with the Tower here, it's just like it's just paying attention to how operating like that all the time can, and being that wholly invested like that, can really alter our foundation. If we don't have eyes on how that does affect us, it leads to some tricky waters there, Cancer. So, and I think I'm going to get a little bit more on this Tower, but I do feel that overall, if there's some things that we've been having maybe troubles letting go, or there's like a, yeah, I'm almost even getting like a, even like a martyr type of complex here, Cancer. It's like we have to do this thing. It's like our civil, like this is our duty. If no one is doing this thing, like you have to. It's like you're almost like taking the weight of the show, like the weight of the world on your shoulders here. Maybe for some here, Cancer. But let me get some clarification with the Tower. Thank you. Okay, let's see what's going on here, Cancer. Interesting. Yup. Okay. So you have the Three of Swords in reverse. Both Libra's cards. I like that. You got the Three of Swords in reverse here, and then you have the Justice card upright. And that's interesting because Mars is getting ready to enter Libra here soon. And one thing with Mars and Libra energy there, Cancer, it's about paying attention to. It's like, paying attention to, because Libra has a one kind of like on a more sort of negative aspect of Libra energy is that they have a way of sacrificing for themselves for the needs of others here. And I feel that, again, we just want to be mindful about what we're taking on, because it just, again, it may not be yours, and it's paying attention to, it's, I feel like it's balancing out, again, how wholly invested that we want to bring about this. I'm almost kind of getting with this, Cancer, just even thinking about just like Libra energy as far as like relationships and things. It's just like paying attention to how relationships do change you, no matter how brief or how long term this stuff is, that there always is some sort of like, there's some sort of residual effect that does happen that does kind of alter you a little bit. And the tough thing too, I feel like with our sign is that we are rooted in the past. You know, whether we want to or not, it's like sometimes you can replay a situation again and again, and it's like getting out of that loop because we can remember how we felt during that energy so poignantly that yeah, just paying attention to, I feel like overall Cancer, to how that really sort of affects you, okay? More? All right, Cancer, strong start here, but you know, thinking about you're popping up in reverse, so you know, make sure that we're thinking about you. You know, it's not selfish to get to safeguard those energies, you know. But let's get another oracle on the mix. And even just thinking too, Cancer, just noting with your minor arcana cards, you know, got a couple Saturns here. You know, Three of Swords, Saturn in Libra, Eight of Cups is Saturn in Pisces, and you know, Saturn can deal with restrictions and things, but just a little random, just a little extra note there, Cancer. But your next card, huh? And that's interesting because Mars rules both of these signs. Because you got the fourth card of Scorpios here, which is the Cat card. And with this card, Cancer, this is a card of apathetic, disinterested, aloof, my way or the highway, bored, unflappable, cool cat, unaffected, not my problem, what I want, when I want it, cool and calm and disengaged. All right, Cancer, and the energy that's coming through here is the apathetic. Now, I feel there is a difference between protecting your energies and then feeling this level of disinterest is what's going down, you know. I feel that because I almost feel like that maybe for some it's just like we may be operating from this place of like extremes, because it's like if maybe we're noticing that we do care so much that we try to do the opposite where we don't feel anything at all. And I feel like there is a time and a place to kind of, you know, have those emotions, have eyes on those emotions and how they affect how you operate and how you take action, Cancer. But I feel like for us to just completely try to shut them off, one, I don't really feel that that's possible for us. I think that's just one of those you can, and if we, there are ways that I feel like that can be achieved, but it's just like, is that going to be to your detriment or not? You know, like, and I feel like, you know, just even kind of moving away from this kind of protect, just in general, just like we want to, if you've been just feeling this sense of, I don't know, just like this, that we're just not interested in things, you know, that there's this, I don't know, this energy of just like not caring, or just like that life is just sort of meh, and that it's just all kind of doom and gloom and things. So just like, why bother? We want to be careful with that, because now we're getting into kind of Four of Cups realms, because then that can, the thing with our energy, Cancer, because we feel so much, you know, what we feel is what we attract. And if you're not feeling this, if you're feeling that there's no point in life, and that things are not, you know, there's, you know, what's like, you know, why be bothered, then that's going to, let's get you more center stage here, Cancer, that's going to get you to this place of where the energy just slows down. Then there's no growth that's happening, because we're just sort of like like not even participating, we're just sort of existing as opposed to more so participating, you know. And if we've noticed, like, let's say for example that life has kind of lost its zeal, or that we don't have anything that we care about, then it's how do we change that, you know, what actions do we need to take with Mars in order for that to shift that balance, you know, to get things to what we want to do. But just kind of sitting around and not, you know, and just sort of like almost like wallowing in this energy. We want to be very, very mindful of that. But let me get some tarot on this. Thank you. Oh, all right, Cancer. We're starting to rack up some heavy cards here, at least of ours, because you got one of our cards, the Queen of Cups here, the Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands upright, and then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. And let's talk about the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups, she's the type that it's us, Cancer. She's full of just deep emotions. And I feel like if we cutting ourselves, I feel like off from our emotions, Cancer, I feel like is a really kind of almost a way of really kind of cutting ourselves off from source as well. It makes this hard for us to achieve this sense of fulfillment here with the Ten of Cups being in reverse here. And I almost feel like with the Four of Wands, just especially if we haven't been feeling like there's been a need, like there's been nothing to celebrate maybe in life, or that it's just like things have just maybe kind of come to a standstill and we're just not been, it almost feels like for some is that we're at this kind of precipice here, where it's just like our how we're getting ready to operate from here out is going to really kind of shift things and change how we're getting towards our sense of fulfillment and things. But let me get a little bit more on this Four of Wands, Cancer. Thank you. All right, Cancer. All right, interesting. So you have the Four of Wands is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Four of Swords, and then the Five of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Four of Swords, and then the Nine of Wands upright here, Cancer. And I'm feeling like there's a need to with the Nine of Wands that I don't know, just like there is this sense of like almost like for some there's like this aloofness or like not wanting to. It's like we're not satisfied with life, but also we don't want the conflicts of things, like not really. I almost feel like it's like this energy of not wanting to get to the state of kind of changing things, to get to this sense of like, I don't want to put this, Cancer. I almost feel like that for some. Almost that's interesting. I almost feel like with the Four of Swords, it's almost like we're just like kind of, just sort of like just kind of sleeping on the problem in a sense. It's just like we're not really doing anything about it. As far as like if we're like as far as like changing things up, it's just like instead of trying to it's like I hope this makes sense, Cancer, but it's like instead of trying to bring things to completion or trying to bring about this change, it's just like we rather just sort of just like kind of we've gotten to this place of where we're just like we just got to kind of tough this thing out. Like this is just going to be life. It's just going to settle. It's just going to be nothing but challenges. It's going to be whatever this thing is. And I'm almost kind of even getting with that. If any of this is just kind of resonating with you, it's very interesting energy here, Cancer, that's coming through. It's like there's a need to kind of reflect on the how we've been kind of operating up until now, how things gotten to this point, that we're not feeling that push to even try, like it's just like it's like the will has been kind of depleted or something along those lines. And I feel that there may be something deeper here that we might need to deal with, you know, that might really kind of find the source of this sort of this apathy and things along those lines. But I think I'm going to move on from that, Cancer. I hope that that makes sense, but yeah, it's very tricky territory that you might be getting into there, Cancer. That's something that's been resonating with you. So just, yeah, a little something to think about there. But let's go ahead. Let's get some, actually, let me pour up a little bit of tea here, Cancer. And then let's get to your last card. Interesting, Cancer, huh? Speaking of Libra energy. So you got the 6th card of Libras here, which is a repairman card. And with this card, this is a card of repair, fine-tune, heal, fix, many working parts, reset, proceed carefully, needs fixing, make adjustments, recover, skilled, make things right, mend, restore, and upgraded. An energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the heal. And I feel like maybe for some that because here's the thing, I feel like even if we've been feeling this disinterest and, you know, this thing of, you know, like, you know, whatever, however this might be resonating, Cancer, I feel like that in order to not be interested, there's a level of action, of conscious effort that is going on to ignore the fact that we can fix this thing and that we can heal this stuff. Like it's like a choice that's being made here. And I feel that it's one of those things, Cancer, in order for, you know, because this is a saying that I got from another reader that I really like, that if we want to heal some of this stuff, you got to feel it to heal it. And I feel like that really is kind of pivotal, really, especially for us, considering we're the most emotional sign of the zodiac. And because apathy is I feel like an interesting place to kind of be, you know, when we just don't kind of care, because then it doesn't necessarily mean that we miss out on opportunities and things, but that affects our perspective of how we see stuff. It makes it harder to see that we can get over to this, like we can get over this hump, you know, that this is just part of a cycle here and that we can move forward with the Chariot. But I do feel like there's something about like finding the source of this apathy here, because this could be too, Cancer, this might be something that you've maybe, again, how we were talking about protecting energies, you know, this could be something that you've picked up as well. You know, maybe you've noticed that maybe the stuff that you're listening to is kind of promoting this energy of just like, you know, like it's all doomsday and just like what's the point and all this stuff. Or, you know, maybe the stuff that either like maybe people are saying, however that's looking. I feel like there's some mending that needs to be, that's wanting to happen here, especially with the Queen of Cups popping up here. And I almost feel like really kind of a need to kind of like nurture yourself, Cancer, especially if this is something that you've been kind of going through here. But let me get some tarot on this and see if we can get some more details. Because even the Three of Swords can deal, especially with it being in reverse, can deal with there's some healing that needs to be done. Or maybe it's like we're healing from a situation where, yeah, let me get a little bit more on that, Cancer. Alright, Cancer, last little bit here. Interesting. So you have the Six of Wands in reverse here, and that's actually very fascinating, Cancer. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But you got the Six of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and then the King of Swords upright here. And let's switch back over. Because fun little fact here, Cancer, I just got done doing a reading for your other channel, and this was your surprise card, was the Six of Wands. It was actually the Six of Wands in reverse here, and that had actually popped out in the pre-shuffle of this other card. And so I feel that there really is kind of this strong energy here that maybe for some it's just like we've not been, maybe the journey has been a lot more work than maybe we had expected it to be. And it's just like we thought it was maybe going to be this energy of just like all fun and just, and it's not to say that there's not fun along this line in this journey, Cancer, but there is it's a balance of this fun and this work here. And I feel that as we go along this, as we get to experience this life more and learn these different lessons and things, there is this wisdom that comes, because ours is a sign of experiential wisdom. The more we go through things and feel things, we learn that stuff, and then we can take these lessons from the past with the Queen of Cups and use them to how do we, or we can use them to affect the trajectory towards our future there, Cancer. But I almost kind of feel with the King of Swords too. Like again, this almost this apathy, this like this energy of just like not caring about anything. Like, oh, whatever. Like I won't be bothered and stuff. Like I feel like there's a stubbornness that is there, or that there's it's like we're forcing ourselves to think something or to take on a certain mindset here with the King of Swords that, I don't know, it doesn't completely feel true to you, Cancer. It's Let me get a little bit more with the King of Swords, Cancer, before we wrap up here. Because the King of Swords is Gemini energy, and that's about that duality, seeing things from a number of... wow. Wow. More? Wow, Cancer. I love when Higher Self does that. Because speaking of Gemini energy here... Oh, I'm dropping stuff. Here's Gemini. Here's you got the lovers here in reverse, Cancer. And so I'm gonna double down on that. It is a matter of your perspective here, Cancer. That's sick. And I do feel that there is a need to kind of connect with why we've been maybe feeling this way, or maybe this, because I'm almost even getting like a lethargic energy or something. Like being in that energy, it slows things down. But and whenever the lovers pops up for me, that's like it's one thing when the lovers pops up, that's kind of like the higher self just kind of winking at you. But when the lovers pops up in reverse, higher self is trying to get your attention, because it's like we've gone off course a little bit. We've gone off track, and I feel like it's trying to get us back on, trying to find the source of that, so that we can get this chariot moving again. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. So just a little something to just kind of think about there. But yeah, I hope that made sense. It was a very interesting reading. You've had like these last couple readings that I've actually been doing today have been very very interesting for you, Cancer. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who's been, maybe been, because again, this may not even be your energy, Cancer. This may just be the energies of people that are picking up around you, and it's just like it's sitting through that and just doing maybe some meditation or something along those lines. But if you notice someone who's maybe been you know, like that's exposed to a lot of energies, or just been not been feeling that motivation for life or things along those lines. Yeah, share this and subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then Cancer. Come on. I don't know if you've heard, but the Chariot and the Queen of Cups are letting you know that I made a whole other channel exclusively for you, Cancer. My sun signs in Cancer. And it's called The Chariot and Friends. And I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. You get to meet Rhonda, learn about when she's going void of course. Rhonda's void of course all the time, but you can learn a bunch about lunar. It's a good old time, Cancer. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And look at that, another one of our cards here, Mercury in Cancer. That head and heart connection. Got the Three of Cups here in reverse, Cancer. And I feel like for some, especially how you got the Three of Cups and the Six of Wands, I feel like there maybe for some we haven't felt a need of, or been feeling that there's been anything to really celebrate in life as of late. You know, that there's been, maybe it's just been kind of maybe challenge after challenge with the Tower, or, you know, we're still maybe healing from something with the Three of Swords that, you know, maybe that's maybe even needing just like a little more of our time of just to kind of reflect on, because maybe something had maybe more of an impact than we even realize, Cancer. Or let me get your oracle card. Oh, Cancer, we get two cards. Oh, and I love it. One of them is lunar shenanigans. So see, Cancer, you got the full moon card up right here, and then we have the fire card in reverse. And you know what? I feel like right now, maybe for some, and that's kind of what I was feeling, like there's like this lack of fire, or this lack of passion, or this lack of drive, or just like this sort of just like, yeah, just sort of like meh, you know, like why be bothered, you know, like it's just like things have just kind of become, even like maybe even like the more kind of like routine things may have been kind of become sort of a mundane thing. But Cancer, the full moon is all about celebration, you know, celebrating the fullness of the life that you do live, you know, and that the experiences that this life does have to offer you, you know, that you can get this sense of fulfillment, this 10 of Cups here. But I feel that it's going to be, it's a matter of perspective, and I feel that there's something again that's needing some healing, or you know, maybe taking some time and just to be with you for a little while, and just doing some self-care, really just kind of nourishing your energies, however that's looking like. You know, maybe it's you know, sitting with the moon for a little while and just kind of pondering life and thinking about where you want to take this. Or I don't know, Cancer, just go void a course for a little while. You know, do some meditation and just yeah, take care of yourself. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer, you know, against different energies, you know, that you might be picking up towards feeling disinterested towards life, maybe even cutting our feelings off, or trying to suppress our feelings, Cancer, altogether. You know, there was another Cancer that had commented that I really liked, and it was similar to like the kind of feel it to heal it. They were like, you got to see it to be it, you know, and if you want to get this, you want to see a happier life, you know, want to see more joy in things, then we have to be that energy. You know, you have to start doing those things, do things that light a fire in you, you know, like maybe going out, maybe communicating, talking with a friend maybe about this, talking about your feelings, or, you know, maybe it's going for a moonlit walk, or I don't know, Cancer, but something definitely needs to kind of change up here. But you raise your vibration to the roof, you know. Yeah, do some self-care. Take a Queen of Cups day. Get zoned, get zened, and yeah, just kind of be with yourself, Cancer. And I will catch you, hopefully, on the next one because since you're going to come over to the charity and friends Cancer tomorrow.